where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.
Welcome back to this edition of the Brian Snow Show, coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. Had Matt Taylor on earlier in the week to talk Colts. Thank him for that. He was on the morning show. He's going to be a constant guest on both of our shows. Speaking of constant guests, you notice recently I haven't had a chance to do Brian's bet slips, which means sports gambling, which means Better in Green is a YouTube channel I am now hooked on deliciously because I love not only their setup, but the picks that they make and the lines and all that kind of stuff and everything that they're talking about. So I decided to invite this man on. His name is Ben Bennett, and he joins me right now. What's up, my man?
What's going on, Brian? Good to see you again, man.
Hey, good to see you. We had a chat earlier in the week, and I don't know if it was supposed to be a business chat, folks, but we start sharing stories, and that's the end of that.
yeah, that's pretty much it. 2 hours later.
What are you sporting there? St. Louis Blues?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Who's the player?
Jersey.
Who's the player you got?
Tarasenko. So it's kind of like a half Rangers jersey now.
Gotcha. For me, you know what? I went to Northeast Missouri State, and I was surrounded by Blues fans up in Kirksville. Most of them from St. Louis.
Yeah.
So I'm surrounded by Blues fans, and that's when kind of my Blackhawk fandom from Chicago took off. And we had so much fun giving each other mess back and forth. Yeah. With the Blues and the Blackhawks. That was, of course, in the 1991 season when the Blues were chasing the Blackhawks. Brett Hull was setting all kinds of records. And one of my neighbors kept posting a puck with the number of goals that Brett Hull scored. So I decided to have a little fun with that. And I went and posted the standings. Because as I said, St. Louis was chasing us in the Norris division. Man, we had so much fun with that rivalry. It's something that when Blackhawk fans and Blues fans get together between the ice, yeah, you're cheering for your team. Afterwards, hey, let's go have a beer.
Right. Chicago and St. Louis, man. It's a great rivalry. It's a fun one.
It is
close in proximity, so you're able to get together still. It's a beautiful hockey, baseball. I love it.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know this. With college basketball, we still have Illinois and Missouri playing in St. Louis, and like you said, Chicago and St. Louis, two great sports towns. When the game is over, we're both looking for the first place to share a beer with each other and talk about the game.
Yeah. Talk about how you guys somehow managed to get that first overall pick.
Right. Look, I wish I could explain how that happened.
Ooh,
I can't. I can't. I didn't expect the alert to come across my phone. The number one pick belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks, and I went, "What?"
Yes, sir.
What happened?
You're gonna have a couple years of enjoying Bettered, man. That kid's the real deal.
Yeah, he is. And the last time we had the number one pick, I don't know, Patrick Kane showed up.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah, Patrick Kane was all right. Only helped lead us to 3 Stanley Cups in 6 years. But
yes, sir.
But sir. Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you on. And I've looked at your channel. I've watched your team. How'd y'all come up with this idea? How did this get started?
Well, first I want to say thanks for having me, Brian. I appreciate you having me on here. We actually started. There was an Indeed ad, and so we responded to it, and we were part of a group that was called Cooper Sports at the time.
Okay.
We made content for a couple months with them. There was a bunch of different projects, and Wyatt, one of the guys on the show, him and Ethan had a show, and then me and Ethan and another guy had a show. Cooper Sports a lot of the programs fell off. Better and Green kept growing. We like to think that we have a really great program over there. We hope you guys go and check it out. But we ended up, when it absorbed, we kept doing our thing, and one of the guys dropped out. We reached out to Wyatt. We said, "Hey, man, Wyatt, he is he is a phenomenal content creator. I think he has like close to like 50,000 followers on TikTok, man. He
Yeah.
makes some funny stuff. He's been betting for a long time. So we have a really good crew over there. So actually still never met in person, but,
Oh, wow.
But we were able to do this all, after COVID, there's so much stuff that you just do virtually now.
Yeah, there
and
is.
It works.
There is. And this works. This is how this took off. And the meeting that you and I have, I'm flipping this over to OBS, and now I know how to do it and have
Perfect.
a better background and a more stable background and everything. We talked a lot of shop for a couple hours, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you for that. But
anytime, man.
I reached out to you and to your crew because I loved your setup. The channel better and green, and how you made all the backdrops and everything. And I took a look at that and I said, okay, I smell Canva somewhere. I smell Canva doing that. And I can't tell you, as creators, and I know you share this with me, I can't tell you how much Canva saved my life.
It's if you haven't had any schooling in Photoshop, you don't need it for Canva. You're able to plug and play. It's good for anybody. And the more you know, the more you play with it, the better you get too. So it's I think it's a phenomenal tool.
It is. That's how I did this. Not only the main background that you see, but the virtual background that's behind me.
Yeah.
And I want to thank BetUS for being an affiliate sponsor, as well as Invader Coffee for being an affiliate sponsor. And while I'm at it, I will get this one in. Sports Bettors, your favorite sports book, betus.com, is back for our 29th year. Live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily boosters, parlays, props, and parlays. Fast payouts and exceptional one-to-one customer service. We got it all. Log on to betus.com or call 800-792-3887, 800-79-BET-US, and thank them for being an affiliate sponsor of this program. Better in green. Who came up with the name?
That was actually Ethan. Ethan came up with the name. I came up with the logo. So this is a whole collaborative effort.
Nice. And who does the video intros? Because I like the daily pay. I'm hooked. I'm hooked on you guys' channel. All right. I will say it out loud. I'm hooked on you guys' channel. I'm hooked on the daily picks to the point where I'm reviving Brian's bet slips so I can do my daily picks. Perfect. So, and I'm only going to do a couple of them because of time and because I'm still not physically all the way back from cancer. But who came up with the idea of the daily picks?
So I make all the videos, all the editing type stuff. It usually falls on my plate. But then Wyatt's the one that he records. He was trying something out. He's at Worst Bets on Twitter and on TikTok too. So he was actually trying some stuff out on YouTube beforehand. Yeah. He said, well, what do you guys think if I start doing something every day? We said, hey man, go for it. Yeah. Go for it if you're up to it. So I gave him the videos and then he just plugs them in and records his part. And I'm the guy, he knows his stuff. So he's doing an excellent job. I think we've had 2 9-day streaks hitting bets every single day of our most our favorite bet. So it's fantastic. I'm glad you like the show. We love the show. We're still pretty new. We haven't been out for a year yet. So we're getting the name
hooked.
out there.
I'm hooked. I'm hooked on the show. I've been on with you guys twice in the chat live, and last week we were supposed to record, didn't get a chance to because situation with my wife. She was very, 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 very sick. I wanted to get her settled, get my family settled. But man, it's fun getting to know you guys, getting to know your creative abilities, and then saying, let me take a piece of that and see what I can do to make my presentation better. And in watching the show in the times that I did, y'all have a lot of fun doing it.
Oh man. If you haven't seen the episode today, we had to cut out probably 7 minutes because we got it stuck in this loop where we just kept laughing and we could not finish this damn outro. We'll upload it at some point. I made up a word and then I said, what the hell am I trying to say? We had to go back. Oh, it was a mess, man. We'll have to upload the bloopers some point.
Now I want to see the bloopers now.
Yeah.
I want to see the bloopers now. There are some days where I work through the night, and that's bad for me because I'm hyped on coffee the next day or some kind of caffeine, and I try very hard not to have any Freudian slips.
Yeah.
Well, one morning I worked through the night. My wife came in and she basically told me, after you finish this show, go pass out.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to make it through your editing if you don't pass out and get some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of my buddies, Ryan McCarthy, who's on with us every Monday, I don't know what I was thinking. I had a cup of coffee right here in front of me, and I took a sip and I looked at the chat and I said Ryan McCoffee.
Yeah, that'll get you, man.
And the greatest thing about it, it stuck.
Yeah.
He took it and ran with it to the point where when we do a joking PSA and he's on with us, you'll see him lift up his cup and go, "I'm Ryan McCoffee and I approve this message." And it's just gone off the rails, but I love it.
They take their own life.
Yes. There's another segment that we do Wednesdays called Bronsexual Confessions.
Oh no.
My friend Cole came up with the idea on his show, and I said, "Can I borrow that and use it?" And he said, "Yeah, go ahead." 2.5 years later, it gets wilder and wilder and wilder every week. It gets crazy. Some of the stuff that is said on social media gets crazier every single week. And then I show up and decide to tell a little bit of truth about the stats that they put up. And I said, well, why don't you juxtapose it against the natural stats? Yeah, they come after my head. You're not supposed to say that about our king, but he's not.
Man.
You know the argument.
I know.
You know it well. I had a kid challenge me, and he says, I want you to name one thing that Michael Jordan has done that LeBron hasn't done. And you can't use championships. I said, oh, that's easy. Defensive player of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never heard from him again.
Yeah. The arguments, man, they're tough, especially after getting sweep this year.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
How hard is it, man, to see that happen to him?
I feel for him, man. I think at this point, really the only thing he's got left, I think you're either a LeBron or a Jordan person at this point. I don't know what else LeBron can really do. I mean, he's lost in the finals, lost too many times. Mm-hmm. I think all he's looking forward to is playing with Bronny.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of the only thing he's holding on to.
And I think that's a couple years down the road. Mm-hmm. And like you said, that's the only thing he's holding on to. You know, is playing with his son. I'm looking forward to see that. To be perfectly honest, as much as I pick on bronsexuals, I am looking forward to seeing that happen. I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. I'm looking forward to seeing Bronny play at USC to see what kind of skills he has. And I've watched him. Don't get it twisted. I've watched him, but the coaching is going to help him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. The coaching is going to help him, and it's going to help him a lot.
He grew up in those basketball locker rooms. I think he's going to come out. I think it's going to be fantastic. He's going to have his head on right. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to see some of these jaw situations that we're seeing with him at the moment.
Yes. Not with LeBron as his father. Oh no.
No.
Oh no. We're not going to see that. And I'm happy. And I'm happy for that.
Me too.
I'm ecstatic for that we're not going to see it. Like I said, much as I pick on Bron, I applaud him as a father. Okay. Yes. He's in his kids' lives. He's right there with them as they're growing up. His wife is there with them, and they're growing up with both parents in the household. And I applaud that. I applaud the daylight side of that. I had both of my parents with me, you know, when I got hooked on baseball and then later basketball and then later football. To have that and then Bronny going to USC, I know that's got to be huge for the entire family.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. That family, could Bronny be better than Bron, you think? With the support system that he has?
With that support system, part A, and part B, the right coaching. And he's playing in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
So the competition is going to be off the chart, especially with USC and UCLA leaving in a year for the Big Ten. So the competition is going to be fierce. You got to see Arizona. You got to see UCLA. You got to see Washington. You got to see Washington State. You got to see Oregon State. You have to see everybody in the Big 12. You got to see Colorado. You got to see Utah. I'm interested to see how he grows as a player and as a person, taking on what's going to be a vigorous schedule. And the Pac-12 television network's going to eat that up.
Yeah.
CBS and NBC and ESPN, they're going to eat that up because they're going to basically put every eye on Bronny that he can. That is where I worry.
Yeah.
That is where I worry. And again, with so many times that I pick on Bron sexuals, my true worry is how he will handle the situation, how he will handle being enormously scrutinized.
Oh, unbelievably.
He's going to be enormously scrutinized, and I feel for him, and I feel for his family.
Yeah, I do too. You think of all the expectations that LeBron had going in,
and
then now the expectations that Bronny's going to have. I mean, it's going to be hard. He's going to have to win like how many championships just to meet expectations, let alone surpass them.
I mean, the moment he announced he was headed to USC, that put them basically in the top 25 to stay just because of name recognition. I want to see Bronny do it on the court. I want to see his footwork improve. I want to see his free throw stroke improve. I want to see his jump shot stroke improve. I want to see him have a post game.
Yeah.
And I get attacked so much for saying that about Bron. And I'm like, well, how can you say that? I'm like, look, I'm breaking down his game.
Yeah.
I'm not touching everything off the floor because I know he's a fabulous father. He's a good husband, and he works for the community. He does things for the community, no matter where he is. Yeah. I judge him, and I've said this for years. I've judged him by his game on the floor.
Yep.
Period. And what I see with Bronny, absolute raw talent. All right. You can't hide that. You can't deny that. I won't deny that. But the coaching has got to help him improve because they're waiting for Bronny to be a one and done and head to the NBA. And LeBron's going to engineer a trade where he can be with his son on the same team, be it Cleveland, be it Los Angeles, be it wherever. But in that 1 year, I don't want anything to happen to him that happened to Zion Williamson. I want him to be healthy the entire year. I don't want him to, and I'm not wishing any bad luck on him. I don't want him to bust out of his shoes or anything like that. I want to see him succeed, and I want LeBron to see him succeed. And Bryce is not too far behind him. He's a sophomore. But I just wish and want nothing but success for him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know LeBron, he's been saying that his goal is to play the Bronny, but if it's not Bronny's goal, then he's like okay with it. If you were Bronny, would where do you fall? Would you want to play with your dad, or would you kind of want to get outside of his shadow?
I'd want to get out of his shadow. That is what I want for Bronny. Establish your own identity. That's one thing my dad told me a lot. Establish your own identity.
Yeah.
And that's what I want, not only for Bronny, but for Bryce to be their own person.
Yeah.
But how tough is that going to be? And I'd love to get your take on this. How tough is that going to be with all the expectations that are heaped upon him, especially being at USC?
Dude, you can't have a bad game. You can't have a single bad game, and you're never going to be Bronny. You're going to be LeBron's son for a long time. And so I know that we have, I forget which one of the MMA fighters, guys in the UFC, his son was wrestling, and we were at that tournament, and his son just wasn't that good. And everybody, and even if you don't want to, they just look at him and say, how can you not be good if your dad is blank? Right. And that's going to be Bronny. He literally can't have a bad game. You can't be injured. You always have to be the number one star player. So I feel for him because at this point, you're still a kid going into your first year of college.
Yes.
and you're coming in with some expectations higher than I think some of the like 6-man pros.
And no one wants to talk about that.
Mm-mm.
No one wants to ask the question, does Bronny establish his own identity?
Yeah.
No one wants, if you look at, you watch the media as much as I, they think, and it's like, what did you just say? He's LeBron's son. He's not Bronny.
Right.
He's not even LeBron James Jr.
Right.
He's LeBron's son. The scrutiny and the expectations are going to be off the charts for him. And I feel for the kid.
Yeah.
I feel for him.
Me too, man.
And it's not fair. You know, a lot of people are going to look at me in surprise and saying that, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, hello.
Yes. Yes.
Marcus Jordan, hello. And I watched Marcus Jordan play for 2 years at Whitney Young. The expectations were enormous with him. Enormous.
It's families, especially like pro families.
Mm-hmm.
It's you have all that extra media. And so
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like the Watt brothers. You got JJ Watt, TJ
Mhm.
Watt, and
Yep.
then there's Derek Watt. And
Mhm.
it just has to suck. And there has to be something psychological about being the other guy.
Yes. Yes. And being the other guy is just it's crazy right now, especially with family. And like I
Mhm.
said, I watched the situation develop with the Jordans. Now, I will give Jeffrey and Marcus credit. They handled it very, very well because their dad taught them, you know, what it was like.
Yeah.
Tell you a funny story though. When the first time I saw Marcus and Jeffrey play at Loyola Academy in Chicago, I didn't think MJ would show up. Full house, and they were at Brother Rice, Catholic League game, full house. Yeah, he showed up.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Because the whole crowd swarmed. And the security at Brother Rice was scrambling. And I had a little bit of security training, and I said, y'all have to get this crowd controlled, and you got to do it fast, especially before the varsity game. Because they were playing the varsity game.
Yeah.
They were playing the varsity game. Fortunately, they stayed controlled. Fortunately, everything worked out. But yeah, I saw it firsthand. And now with the advent of social media coming in,
Ooh, that's brutal, dude.
it is. It's gonna be so brutal. And I mean this from the heart. It's gonna be brutal for Bronny at USC, especially in the Pac-12 region. Man alive. He's got to average 40 points a game.
Yes.
He's got to average a triple. He's basically has to average a triple double for him to be him.
Yeah. Any mistake you make, it's going to be circulating social media.
Yep. And fast.
Yep.
And fast. And as unfortunate as it is, when it does get circulated, they won't allow the coach any time to train him.
Yeah.
That's what's scary to me.
Yeah. I agree, man.
That is what's scary to me. Ben Bennett joining me here from Better in Green. Check out Better in Green on YouTube. Oh man, this is fabulous. I gotta have you back again, man. I gotta have you back.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We're getting close to football season, man. I think our teams have potential to play in the Super Bowl.
Chiefs and 49ers part 2. I've been wishing for that for 3 years now.
The Chiefs are running it back, man.
I've been wishing for that since Super Bowl 54, man. The next year we get littered with injuries. Next year littered with more injuries, but somehow get to the NFC Championship game, but people still disqualify us. And when I say us, I mean the 49ers. Yeah. They still disqualify us, saying, oh, y'all got lucky to get to the NFC Championship game, ignoring the fact that we went to Green Bay and held Green Bay to 10 points.
I know. That defense, man.
As beat up as we were, we held Green Bay to 10 points. But no one wants to talk about that.
Mm-mm.
Well, I can't wait to have you on for football season. I can't wait to have you on doing picks with me for Brian's bet slips and for the morning show. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be great. I can't wait to have you. I appreciate you so much.
Hey, I appreciate you, Brad.
Oh man, that's Ben Bennett from Better in Green. We got more stuff for you, folks, so stick around. The Brian Snow Show. I nearly said Snowman in the Morning because I'm taping everything for Snowman in the Morning. We'll be back.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
I'm in another lane, I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can never be. I'm next level. Next level.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is The Brian Snow Show.